I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Dragons of War. Today, we rejoin the full party, aside from Scout, who has once again slipped off to go scouting. And so, you guys find yourselves outside of the encampment where you had left the fallen meteor, and thanks to some negotiating by Gorakul, you now have 20 tiny kobold uh, helpers to assist with getting the meteor onto the wagon with Dave the donkey and um, getting things settled. To just recap what you guys would have been there for in character, but were not here for in person, had gone into the dark woods around Flatheimer here and um, hunted down Bitey, the huge spider that dwarfed all of the other large giant spiders. And even though, those spiders were huge and scary, Bitey was just a different size category altogether and was a very dangerous opponent that they took out rather quickly. Um, Although Pesci did temporarily consider burning everything to the ground. He apparently has some severe arachnophobia that we were unaware of before this. And so
Indeed.
you guys, were there in character, and you would know, what went down and would have participated in the battle. Um, so that's, what has been happening. But now, after taking Bitey's head back to the kobolds and some rather tense negotiations, you guys end up with your equipment and some helpers, and I wouldn't call it an alliance with the kobolds, but I'd say you have enough of an understanding to where it would not be unreasonable to think that you could come back here at some point and, negotiate some sort of other terms. And so, oh yeah, Gorakul, take a point of inspiration for negotiating that all out with the kobolds last. Yeah, and then now you guys are approaching the site of the crater, and I am pulling up the map, and you guys can see that there is no bottom half of the meteor by the crater any longer.
And
And
Gorakul, seeing this, totally freaks out at this point and says, "What did I tell you? What did I tell you?"
Well, hold on. I'm not done describing the scene. So before you do anything, you might want to know what's all there, because before you go shouting, you see some marks in the ground where something has been dragged, something large and heavy, and looking just to the edge of the woods, you see a huge hulking figure surrounded by tiny other humanoid figures that you instantly recognize as goblins. But the goblins are not what have your attention right now. Instead, you are focused on the hulking figure, a monstrous humanoid of, 9+ feet and 2 heads. Each of his arms carries a massive flail. This 2-headed ogre appears to be an extremely dangerous opponent that you should not take lightly.
And but does Gorakul see that they're somehow in possession of the bottom half of the star?
It doesn't take a whole lot of looking at what's going on to figure out that the goblins are helping drag away the meteor, and this ogre is like the field marshal leader, whatever you want to call him. And so, you very quickly deduce that indeed these goblins have your treasure.
And Gorakul, sort of seeing this, sort of whispers to the others, "Those little thieves think they can go and manhandle a piece of the star like that?"
Um, Really quick, TM. Have we had a long rest?
No, the kobolds are close enough to where you guys, just headed back to the camp right away, as Gorakul would have not given you a moment's peace until you headed out.
Okay.
Indeed.
And DM, do I have any knowledge of this ogre?
Um, you probably know, but now that you mention it, Zarash might have heard of this guy.
Okay. I should roll for.
Just a general intelligence check.
Do I know of anything of why an ogre would be working with goblins, or?
That is common knowledge that the goblinoid races, which includes ogres and trolls, uh, often work together. Trolls aren't true goblinoids, but they all kind of fall into the same category. Bugbears, orcs, goblins, and ogres are all like basically considered goblinoids.
Okay.
And Gorakul, sort of looking at Zera, says, "Well, you're a goblinoid. Can you at least talk to them to understand what the heck are they doing with that piece of the shard?"
I can try. Looks like under my abilities, I do speak Goblin.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so what? 1 second.
Yeah.
Zarash, as you rack your brain, you do remember that this is a famed warrior ogre from a very violent clan of orcs and goblins. It is said that he single-handedly took out an entire battalion of Frageshelmir's troops in order to take Kazrak, the capital of the horde, the orcish horde. He was the one who broke the battalion that was defending it.
So guys, given what I've just told you about this creature, I don't think I'm going to be able to reason with him.
Okay.
Then what do you suggest? We just let them take the piece of the star?
No, but how far away are we, and do they?
You'll see in just a second. I'm still setting up all the tokens, but you're pretty much on the other side of the map from where they are.
Okay. DM, do I know of any weaknesses or anything of ogres, or what they're scared of, or anything?
Ogres are not really scared of anything. And as far as weaknesses go, much like most things, nothing's immune to sword.
Okay. Sharp end goes in towards body. Gotcha. And since this is more of a famed ogre, do I know of like any history this guy may have had? I know Zerash shared some information. Maybe I know of like an enemy that he had a very tough fight with that he wasn't able to finish off or something.
Oh no, Zarash would have made it clear to you that this guy is basically the Khal Drogo of this land. He's never been defeated.
No, I mean an enemy that has been defeated by him, but he wasn't able to kill.
Oh, yeah, the Earl of these lands is the one who lost his entire, troops at the battle, and so he's basically his mortal enemy.
Do I know his name?
Yeah, but I'm really bad at making up names on the spot,
Okay.
so you got to give me
Gotcha.
a second to generate one.
Don't worry about it.
Oh no, I like to have names. I just, if you've ever watched the Community episode where Abed is DMing and he's like, I'm really bad at names, and then they're naming all their names. I'm Mar and I'm Bing Bong, and he's like, wow, you really are bad at names. That's me. If I'm forced to come up with a name, it's either going to be super cliche or like just nonsense.
You could try Orion.
That's not very Viking sounding.
All right.
Just a second. It just takes a second to pull up a generator. I'm almost there. Meanwhile, you guys can go ahead and arrange yourselves like you like to do. Ooh. I think it's going to be a female earl of this land. Ingrid's too common. Runa? Runa Eirik daughter.
Runa Eirik daughter.
Runa Eirik daughter. And that's Earl Runa Eirik daughter to you.
Of course.
You should
She
make
would
sure
have my head if I tell her otherwise.
Yeah. What's that, Hazard?
You should probably write that down onto the chat.
I just
He did. Yep. He just posted it.
And Gorakulsor looks around and says, well, if anyone has a suggestion, any suggestions, now would be the good time.
I suggest
Yes. I have an idea.
I like this idea.
I haven't even told you my idea.
He just
However-
likes the concept of somebody having an idea.
I have an idea.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Bugbears do have rather large ears.
And they're also quite stealthy.
I need to get a little closer. Have we been seen yet or spotted? I'm assuming we have. But it's certainly possible we have not.
You have not. They are too busy arguing amongst themselves about how to best drag this, very heavy rock through the very not pleasant to drag something through terrain.
Okay. I have an idea. Don't know how well this is going to work, but I need to get closer. And wondering. So he is this guy DM. Is he the kind that will hunt down someone who is his mortal enemy and abandon everything to focus on them?
I don't think what you think is necessarily going to work the way you think it would. It is certainly possible that if he saw, them coming at him as a threat, that he would, become extremely focused on them. Or if he saw, an opportunity, but you have to understand that he knows this area and has scouts and spies that report the movements of enemy troops. He's basically a captain or lieutenant in the Orcish army here, even though they don't have ranks like that per se. They just assign a guy to command a whole bunch of other guys. And so with all of the goblins and orcs and everything that this ogre has under his command, he would be extremely dubious if there was just all of a sudden Runa like out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. That makes sense. What if I planted evidence, like physical evidence of troop movement?
Yeah, I mean that would help, but now remember, going off of real world examples, in order for troop movement to be believable, there has to be like a build up. It's not like all of a sudden there's just troops somewhere. Like, you have to like have like the dead body of a supposed scout show up, and then like reports of troops moving this way, and then it would be far more believable. I'm not trying to shoot down your idea because I really like it, and I'm not saying that if you were to create an image of Runa like standing there all fierce, that he wouldn't like be taken aback for a second. I'm just saying it's not going to be the get out of jail free card that you might be thinking it is.
Yes. No, I was considering something else. Not so much direct threat, but so basically my idea is this. We want to lead him away from the stone, the whatever they have, and go try to see if they can hunt down an unexpected appearance of Runa, but potential troop movement. For a little bit while we go and we set up and we.
Their focus, and I normally would not tell you this, but I kind of don't want to be the DM who like lets you try something for an hour of the gameplay that you have, only to be like, yeah, that doesn't work.
I'm quickly realizing that this is not going to work based off the information you're providing.
Yeah, basically what it is their mission is to get this home safely. Unless a threat immediately poses itself, to make them have to like break off and deal with the threat, they are going to continue to drag this home, and deal with whatever threat individually.
Yes.
Can we? All right. So I think we're going to have to engage and see how this battle.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's no possibility of negotiating, talking, diplomacy. Like I never take that stuff off the table, even in the craziest situations where like Orcus himself has come to the surface, and there's always a chance that you can talk to people. So don't think that you just have to fight, but it's definitely going to be hard to just like trick them per se unless you got a really good plan.
Okay, I have a different idea.
Okay.
So DM, are kobolds at the very least neutral to goblins and ogres?
Not as neutral as you would think, because in this world it's pretty much like every race for themselves. And so the reason that the goblins and the orcs and the bugbears and all that team up so much is because they're all equally persecuted and hunted by the humanoid, not monstrous humanoid races like elves, humans, halflings, dwarves. They all pretty much gang up on the goblins and the ogres and the orcs and all that together. The kobolds experience the same thing with the other humanoids, but they then also experience it with the goblins and all of that because they compete for the same resources but are not closely aligned. Like humans, dwarves, and halflings are all basically like related, with elves being like a very, very distant cousin, I guess you would call it. Although they don't quite see it that way. But regardless, humans, halflings, and dwarves look at each other as like brothers, the same way as goblins and orcs and all that do. But
Okay.
kobolds are draconians. So if anything, they would be allied with like dragonborn, but they're not. So
Okay. And would there be any reason why this ogre might feel that this work is demeaning?
I don't know. That's
Does it look like,
question
based
I
off
hadn't
of what I'm
considered.
seeing him, do I feel like he's like annoyed or frustrated that he's out doing this?
He's very angry with his goblins that they're not doing it faster.
Okay.
So
I have a different idea, a proposal, Brian
what's that?
and
Go.
Gabriel. So my proposal is this. The kobolds are not they're not enemies, but they're not really quite allies either, it sounds like. So my proposal is this. Why don't we convince them that we're here to move the rock and we're surprised to see that they're here, but we've been told to do this. So why don't they go back to whatever their next thing that they need to do, take care of, and we'll move this for them and get it out of their way.
They've never seen you before. That's probably not going to work.
He doesn't answer to anyone else or has any other allies or anything in the area.
Ones that he knows about, yeah. Like he
Okay.
would recognize them, and they wouldn't be a gnome and a bunch of kobolds.
That's true.
I think we're back to. I think we're back to just.
Back to swords in. Okay.
Is there any way we can do something that would distract?
What? That's what. So we've been kind of talking through here.
Okay, some sort of.
Yeah, but I
maybe-
think what she's saying is less of a bluff, deception, and just like a straight up distraction.
Yes.
like Zerash could cause the distraction because he's a.
I'm thinking like something like a play. No, something that they maybe would see as a danger.
Yeah,
I don't know if we have anything.
we've tried an enemy. We've thought through that. We've tried, sort of making them think that there was another army. I think we're back to the same thing.
Okay.
Unless you want me to just at least ask them, stop, wait, what are you doing?
I think I
It's
like
like-
what Tanya is saying. We have a whole bunch of kobolds with us. They are really good trap makers. They're taking their time moving this thing. We could potentially go a little bit ahead of them, make a whole bunch of traps, and then when they get caught in the trap, then we can attack.
But I don't understand how that's going to work because right now, at least as I see the board here, these goblins have they can see us. They know that we're there.
No, they don't.
They don't know we're here yet. They're very focused on this. So if we stop moving and kind of back off into the forest a little bit, then circle around and go ahead of them.
Okay. All
We
right.
have a mini army of 20 kobolds. We can put together some traps pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I was just thinking also maybe
So So what do you want me to do to distract them? You want me to walk out in the open and kind of run away and try to see if they chase me?
No, like sort of chat with them, seeing that you're sort of related to a goblinoid.
Well, if we can peel off of them at this point, they don't know we're here. So if we can peel away and get around them, because they're DM, are they moving slow?
Yeah.
Do we feel that
Yeah,
we can get ahead of them pretty easily?
They're moving very slow because they're trying to drag this very heavy piece of rock.
Okay.
Is there any way to like make it so that there's also like sounds or flame or something?
I can make minor sounds and illusions. So I can make minor sounds to distract them as they're moving to slow them down even further. If the goal is to get them caught in a trap, I can do that.
Okay, or just not notice us and look.
Like I can make it sound like there's an animal coming near them, or or like other things that will put them up on their guard a little bit, so they're moving a little slower. But nothing that's like a significant threat that they have to like peel off.
Yeah, something like that. But my question though is, okay, so if we do all that, I mean, we don't have the capability, do we, to carry the, or do we with the cobalt?
I mean, we have the wagon, and we have 20 kobolds with us. Once we stop them moving, we can move the wagon to where we are and then load it up there.
Okay. So we're all doing all this distraction and delay attempt to make it possible for us to, I'm asking, to grab the stone, but how quickly could we really
You
move?
can't really move the stone quickly. If you're gonna try to get this thing, there's just really no choice.
If I'm honest, we can just set up a trap as suggested.
Well, I think you can set up a trap, but eventually you're gonna have to fight them. And that's
Yes, but it could seriously delay. It could like as we were suggesting, like sort of like give them a disadvantage.
Yeah. The idea being it would put them off their guard and it would give us an advantage in the combat because they have one big guy that will be very tough for us to take on one-on-one. Since this guy has gone through armies. So I think the idea is either we're going to have to let him take whatever part he has and take the rest and deal with the consequences of that, or somehow get the upper hand on him.
Yeah, Borak will rather get the upper hand on him.
Because he's not, it doesn't sound to me, based off of my knowledge that the DM has given us, that there's any real way for us to convince him otherwise, or to, I mean, I may know something to throw him off his game for a quick turn and make him think twice, but I won't know anything that could make him drop this whole thing.
Exactly.
And yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to convey here is that, don't feel completely frustrated that nothing you're suggesting would work at all. It's just not going to be the get out of jail free card that you would want.
Yeah. So my idea was if I had some information, I could use that to get him to drop what he's doing and go off and do something else, which I don't have. So I can't use that. But I have information that could distract him momentarily if we get into combat. What I'm thinking of is if we can set up traps and we can basically, if we plan the attack the right way, it gives ourselves a bunch of advantage to choose the ground, then we have at least a good chance of getting him to run away. In which case, we still get the objective is the stone. So him living or dying doesn't mean anything. It's just him to abandon the stone is the objective. So if we can put him into a whole bunch of cobalt traps, then that would be great.
okay. So then, what's the plan? I'm supposed to go distract them and have.
We don't need a distraction currently. They're fully distracted with the stone. The idea is that we want to move around them quickly and get ahead of them based off of their path that they're going, that we suspect. So we'll need some tracking to kind of get an idea of where they're going, figure out with the kobolds how much time they need to set up a bunch of traps in that path,
Okay.
and then position ourselves
Got it. Okay.
and
So then-
slow them down enough to give the kobolds enough time. Does that sound like a plan, DM?
Well, everything you guys have suggested so far sounds like a plan. The effectiveness of them, we'll have to see.
All right, so then let's execute that then. So we're gonna try to go around to the side through the woods, try to get to them in a different spot.
Yeah, so based off of the path that they're going, I think that what we need to do, and we can discuss this really quick with the kobolds once we get back into cover. The idea being, how much time do you need to set up a bunch of traps to take care of these guys, to help take out these guys, and then get them the time that they need? And like basically pick a position such that they have the time to prep all this along the path that these guys are going.
Okay.
We'll have to leave the cart here and the donkey here, unfortunately, or we can ask the kobolds if they can like hide them really quick, so that way they're not like stolen from us from under our noses again.
Well, so basically what we're trying to do is we're gonna try to get the kobolds to set up traps for the goblins, which means we're gonna need to take the kobolds with us.
Correct, but kobolds are stealthy and they're
Right.
focused on the stone. So we can get in, as long as we're far enough away from them, we shouldn't have any issues with stealthing.
Right.
We just don't want to be on their path so that they won't see us.
No, I've got it, but we're taking the kobolds with us.
Yeah, the kobolds need to set up, will be used to set up the trap.
Right, that's fine. So you're leaving the donkey, you're leaving the cart, and we're on our way. We're gonna come. We're gonna try to go around to the right, and basically go around through the forest and try to get ahead of the group here.
Yeah, but we want to make sure we hide the donkey and the carriage. Maybe we might want to leave a kobold or two behind to like just basically track it and hide it for us,
Right.
so that way we don't lose it.
We don't
Again.
have any kind of magic to hide them.
No, nothing that would last too long. DM, how long do the kobolds think it's going to take to set up some traps to take out these guys?
I mean, even with the numbers that they have, it's going to take hours.
Hours. We would have to really get far ahead of them.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try to get really far ahead of them.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so
All right,
how
so-
about we have the like a couple kobolds stay with the donkey and carriage and basically just take their time getting towards us, and that way they're not like stranded here.
Okay.
Or is there still some of the stone that we need to harvest here?
No.
Okay, so they have all of it. All right. Okay.
So then we're on our way. We're gonna try to get past them. We're gonna leave 5 kobolds and take the rest of them.
Well, we're bringing everybody with us. It sounds like, because we don't need the whatever's here that's in the crater. Correct, DM?
Right.
Okay. So we're going to be very stealthful about this and careful to not draw attention to any of us as we're trying to get ahead of them.
Is there anything we need to do to ensure that?
No. You guys get ahead of the goblins, and the kobolds do indeed make some traps. The traps manage to slow down and incapacitate some of the goblins, and because his progress has now been stopped, the two-headed ogre orders his men into a defensive position, and they prepare to defend the stone and kill anyone who comes close. You guys may roll for initiative.
So are we
I'm
in? Are we in a forest or grassland?
It's grassland.
Grassland. I would have liked to have trapped them in a forested area. Okay.
Also, DM, you never told me if there was a sort of star-based deity.
It's Ilmater.
Oh, Ilmater.
On the main thing, down in the middle.
Oh, Pesci, don't forget to. Oh, you did add your initiative. Okay, good. All right. So, regardless of how it happens, sooner or later you guys are forced to approach if you want to take this meteor from the ogre. And as you approach over the flat land, they can see you approaching. And so goblin number 2 here, seeing you approach, moves into position and let's see how far away you are. Oh yeah. You're pretty far away, and so I ready in action to shoot you as soon as you're within normal range for my short bow.
What is the way to do what we are also talking about, conversation, to figure out what it is, some sort of figuring out what it is they're doing with the stuff?
No.
No,
No,
no
no.
room for negotiation?
No, now we're.
Wow.
Yep. So what's my distance here? How do I judge the distance here?
It's 115 feet from you to Goblin 2.
Okay, and I don't have any weapons that I could do that. Does anybody else have they could shoot?
Are we still too far away?
No, that's my question. Is there anybody can shoot it to 100?
I'd be at disadvantage. My range is 80 and 320 for long.
Where do I know my range?
If you go to your bow and click on the spyglass or the magnifying glass, under properties, it will tell you under the ammunition the range. And for example, my short bow says range 80/320.
This would be under actions?
Under actions, correct.
I am messing up.
Yeah. So your longbow, you have. It doesn't say there. Hold on a second.
Did you get the
Hold on a
the
second.
little?
Yeah, I did, but it didn't give me what I was expecting. Let's see. We're getting all
What is
these
the
error
deal with
messages.
the
that
arrow?
night.
Driving me nuts.
You click on the dragon head and it'll say under properties range 150 600.
So you have range for that. You can shoot them all day from here.
Yes,
Okay.
but it is Zarash's turn.
Yes, but I'm not gonna do anything then if we can start shooting them from got more range than they do. So
You can be cover.
I can be cover. Javelin, I can go 20 with my javelin, but I'd be at this. But why
You
would I-
can ready an action to throw your javelin at someone, and we can try to get them to come towards us.
Yeah, what's the reasonable distance that they're likely to be at, DM? What they're likely to shoot at? Do I know?
you would know that a short bow is about 80-foot range.
Okay, so I can move forward approximately 15 feet and still be out of range?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move there, and that's my turn. And I'm going to prepare a shield. I've got a shield, don't I? Inventory, main. Shield. I have a shield. Can I raise my shield to block an arrow coming at me? Is that a
Absolutely.
thing I can do? Okay, so that's what I will do. And I will end that turn.
So whenever you take a defensive action, you go down to generic actions and you just double click on dodge.
End your turn, Dad.
He did.
Oh, good, good, good.
Oh, hell no. It just reset all my tokens.
Yeah, there's something goofy going on here on our side too.
It keeps
What
sending
the
errors.
heck?
It's fine on my behalf. Just
I don't know what it is, but every time you move, it's sending us an error message.
That was not cool.
My account and to Tanya's account.
maybe you should close the map and then open the app again.
No, this is something on Fantasy Grounds End, and I am very unhappy. Wow. I have to just place every token over again, which, you know, stinks for a game where we already had, you know, more limited time. Come on, Fantasy Grounds. I expect better. One second, just getting the rest of you back in place.
I mean, not every system has its flaws.
Oh, it's very true, but, you know, this is a little more annoying to have to reset every single token, you know. Alright, so this goblin steps forward in order to get you into his range and shoots you. Well, he shoots an arrow at you. Whether it hits
At
or not,
Zera.
we'll see. Huh, that was odd. Why'd it roll it? Oh, because you dodged. Ah ha ha. So you try to dodge, and the arrow gets past your shield, dealing 7 points of damage and wounding you, but not not greatly. Like it just kind of hits your armor on your shoulder, and it's one of those things where like a bulletproof vest stops a bullet, but it doesn't stop it from hurting.
We'll work with it. All right, Elodie. All right, so Elodie's got a bunch of things that she can do. We're gonna throw. Is there a level 3 spell that she encounters?
No.
Level 2. And yes, she has a Misty Step, which will allow her to teleport out of the way. Although, once she gets back, she can swap these out if she wants. But I thought I went with the ones that fit her theme, because the Misty Step can also be, like Frosty Mist. And then also, she has the what icy death whatever thing. It's basically a 30-foot cone of cold, but you gotta get within range. Her best attack weapon right now is probably going to be Ray of Frost, which has a 60-foot range, or Ice Knife, which also has a 60-foot range. So you got to get a
And
bit
look,
closer than
John
you're
is
gonna.
here.
Yay! You're going to have to get a bit closer than you would probably want in order to make that attack. However, you are in the long range of your sling, which would allow you to make an attack at disadvantage with your sling.
Don't forget to target something.
I did. I targeted the guy. I missed him.
He did.
Okay. You're up.
I'm up.
Yep. Now's the time to use your longbow with guy.
Well, is there anything I should do as a prep before?
No, you should just take your bow and shoot the hell out of this guy.
Okay. So, forget.
First, you gotta target him. Control. Yep. Now you gotta control and click.
I did.
Yeah, no, you were targeted. You had it. You were right. You got to do it again now, though.
You hit that thing. Hit the combat track. Okay. Now do it again. Control one. Yep.
There you go.
Sorry, Michelle. Okay.
Right. So now you're back under here. Right.
Longbow.
Yep.
And do I roll the longbow?
Yep. You roll the longbow. Oh, wait a second. Isn't there a thing that she has to do? Or does that?
If she wants to activate her Hail of Thorns
Yes.
as a bonus action, then you just go ahead and click the effect Hail of Thorns all the way at the end there, the little walking dude.
Oh, the walking dude. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. And then that'll put Hail of Thorns on you. And then
Roll the longbow.
yeah,
And then roll the
and then you roll the longbow. Okay. Now you have hit the ogre with your longbow. So the first thing you do is roll your longbow's damage. Okay. Now, the next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack before the spell ends, it creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target, and each creature within 5 feet of it, must make a dexterity saving throw or takes 1d10 piercing damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. So now, what you need to do is target Goblin 2 and Goblin 3 the two that are within 5 feet of the ogre there. Yep. And now that you have all 3 of them targeted, you roll the Hail of Thorns save, which is the dice, the first little icon.
This one. Okay.
And they all fail. That's perfect. So now you roll the damage.
Blood thing there,
The
right?
little blood right in the middle. Yep.
Oh.
I'm a badass, huh?
Yeah. So as your arrow explodes with spiky thorns into the ogre, it deals more damage to the ogre, and he doesn't like it. But the 2 goblins take the shrapnel and just drop to the ground, dead or dying.
They take the green shrapnel.
There you go.
Oh.
All right, so now you can go back to the battle. Yeah, to that. Right now you're done your turn.
Well, do I end my turn?
You can do your turn.
Oh, and don't forget that the 12 boxes on the bottom correspond with your F keys. If you drag that next actor end turn button down to one of them, then you can end your turn just by pushing that F key.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I keep losing. Computer. I'm guessing I'm a big target now.
Well, we'll see.
Probably.
You can roll stealth.
It's okay. Scout's here. Scout's gonna kill them all. Single-handedly. He's just arrived.
Go Scout!
Alright, so now Pitslayer. Who I assume that's your DM's playing that, right?
Yes. The kobold steps forward by Zarash, but stays just a little bit back behind him and pulls out his sling and readies an attack if anybody gets within 30 feet.
Got for me.
So, Gorakul, seeing that Zerash is a bit injured, decides to add a little pep into his step and says, in a sort of prayer to the dragon goddess of stars, and casts and casts Cure Wounds on Zerash.
Appreciate that.
Is there anyone that can protect me so I can shoot next time?
You're fine. We're exactly where you are. You're
Okay.
out of range. They can't reach you. Crap out of them until they come at us.
So Zerash sort of puts his hands to where Zerash was wounded, and sort of like this sort of starry power then sort of covers the and heals it up. Right, TM?
Yeah. Scout, you can go ahead and roll initiative whenever you're ready to. I'll give you credit for the first one. I don't know why it rolled twice.
Okay.
You'll arrive on the next turn. You were out scouting.
I have no more bardic inspiration left, by the way. I'm out of that, but I do have
I
slots.
cannot believe that you have no longer any bardic inspiration. That is impossible.
I am I used it all up trying to inspire the kobolds, and obviously they're here, so
I thought 2 and 3 were dead.
okay.
The goblins are dead.
Yeah, it took out a bunch of goblins, which it still looks like there's
Seems like they're there. Yeah, I don't know what that-
Six-ish left.
They were red dots.
Goblin
Well, they're
2.
both dying right now. That means they might have saved.
Yeah, the one is dying and the other one is just dropped to 0.
Alright, I'm gonna move over to here. That should keep me, what, 5, 10, 50? How far away is this big guy from me? Is it going to tell me what my range is?
110 feet.
Okay. I don't think he's going to be able to get to me his next turn, so I'm content with being right here. Pesci will, I guess, shoot his bow. Yeah. Pesci will shoot his bow. I will target this goblin. And then I will attack with my short bow. And then Pesci will go prone.
Okay.
Where is the prone command?
Is the bottom there or?
No, I see others,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't
Look
see
at that. No
prone.
prone. That's odd.
Yeah.
You'd think that'd be something that they would have. Maybe I can add
Yeah.
it. I'll see about
Okay.
adding it. But either way, here you go.
Cool. So yeah, I'm going prone to give them disadvantage on hitting me at range, by the way. That's my rationale behind that. To everyone else. If they were to actually get into melee range with me, then prone is not a good idea.
Yeah. And in Pesci's case, he's just sort of dramatically arming.
Oh, Pesci does a dramatic drop to the ground.
And Gorakul sort of mutters to himself, always the enthusiastic one.
The ogre raises his chains and charges forward.
Let's find out.
Imagine he's sort of like helicoptering Jane.
Okay.
Because he got within 30 feet, I think. Yep, just within 30 feet. Bitey Slayer launches his sling.
Wow. Loses an ear. What do you, man? We like bites.
Now he doesn't lose an ear because it's a blunt attack, but that means that blow to the head permanently reduces intelligence by 4 and knocks target unconscious. Save ends.
He's like the David in Goliath.
He is like
Wow.
David and Goliath, and he has knocked out the two-headed ogre, but only temporarily. A save is going to end that, although his intelligence has been permanently reduced by 4.
Well, that's good. He's in range from me. I can go see if I can go hack at him at least for one round before he cuts up. are working our way today.
And then that means he's also prone.
Oh no, my bad.
So the tiny kobold launches his stone and the oh wait. It's just one of his heads that's unconscious. I forgot he's two-headed.
So one of his heads is a little bit slightly less intelligent.
Yeah. All right. The
Ow.
goblin boss moves forward. And rallies his kobold, his goblins around him.
Don't be afraid to do some role playing, DM, for the goblins.
What would that entail?
Whatever you want. You have to.
They are role playing. They're following their orders.
I mean, talking stuff.
Well, they're talking in goblin to each other.
Which I can understand, and what they're saying is, what the hell's going on?
Oh, you just scared the cat, dude.
I just scared the
And
cat.
I don't mean me.
How did that little freaking thing take down our ogre? That's what the goblin boss is saying.
Yeah. Oh, and if you do understand Goblinoid, then they're giving commands like rally around me and things like that, but in Goblin talk, so it's not as elegant sounding as all that.
Oh, come on, really? Pain in the ass. Same damn things last time.
Round 2.
Okay, round 2 it is. All right, so I am I guess I have to move up on this.
Yep, you are the tank.
I'm gonna crossbow sword. My faultless long sword.
And since you're a brute, and Dad, since you're a brute,
Yep.
you're able to. Whenever you hit a weapon that you're proficient with and deal damage, the weapon's damage by amount based on your level and class.
Okay. Do I have to do a point?
No, just
Okay.
roll.
All right, so I'm rolling, and he's prone, right? So I got.
No, he's not prone.
He's not prone. Okay, so I'm rolling. Okay.
And don't forget to add the 1d4 damage.
Okay, 1 damage.
Oh, you're using the other 1d4 damage. What?
It's part of the brute. It's part of the brute subclass. Shall I show you, DM?
Whenever you hit with a weapon, fighter level 3rd, 1d4. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and add that here.
Roll it again, or do I? What do you want me to do?
Just rolled the 1d4.
Wait for the DM to come.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't added it to all of your weapons, but your faultless longsword now has the additional 1d4 added onto it. I am giving the ogre his 7 hit points back. Also, you're not close enough.
Oh, I thought I moved close enough. I moved up 10, so I'm moving up 5 more. Okay.
All right, now deal your damage.
Okay.
There you go.
Good. Okay. Can I give myself the second wind at this point, or have I already used my motion?
Second wind, I think, is a bonus action. I'm just gonna check real quick. Yeah, it's a bonus action, so you can do that. All right, goblin number 1 moves up by the goblin boss and targeting Pesci. Nope, Pesci's prone. Targeting Gorakul. Nope, Gorakul's got cover from my ally, darn it. Why is my ally gotta be huge? You know what?
Shoot through his ally. He's useless.
I'll just come up here. I'll ignore my boss.
Ouch.
Scout! After having scouted out the area, you finally make it back to your companions. You can see that they are engaged in some kind of combat with a giant two-headed ogre and some goblins who are dragging away the rest of the meteor.
Come help me get rid of this freaking two-headed monster creature thing.
This is a huge map. My God. Wow.
Yeah, you guys are in the open field, so big map time.
I'm gonna have to close some distance to be able to do anything. 35. Close that. I should be able to at least strike the ogre. Is it not targeting? There we go. 25 feet. I think that would work. Sharp bow is in range. I'm going to go ahead. And because I ran, I won't be able to use my steady aim. All right. Now with that, I so winded and just confused. I just can't seem to hit my mark.
Yeah, and the ogre's whirling chains kind of deflect arrows coming in at him a little too.
Right. So Elodie is within 50 feet of the two-headed chain. The fact that Zarish is there, does that affect her ability to cast a spell?
Depending on which one, yes,
Ice knife.
definitely.
So I guess if she moves to like there.
Ice knife explodes in a radius, just like Lucy's arrow.
Okay, so what does it? Ray of Frost, icing.
Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna roll that.
You hit the ogre with your frosty beam and deal damage.
causing it to freeze up a bit.
It's gonna target the goblin boss.
Yeah, you want to target the goblin ball. Same technique.
Am I correct, or did I have to choose?
You gotta choose. You gotta
Action.
yeah, hold on a second. Though. You gotta unclick that guy.
Unclick.
So
Which guy? I can't see what I'm clicked on.
right there says goblin boss got into over. So
Okay.
first thing you gotta do is unclick that.
Click.
Yeah.
And also who?
Now you're goblin boss. Now you're good.
Don't I want to get rid of goblin too? Or
You
no?
because she's using Hail of Thorn.
Nope, you have to cast it again.
Okay, so we're on the
But
pack.
right now I'm
Goblin boss.
just goblin boss.
That's
okay.
what you want, right?
I go to my actions.
Correct.
Now, yeah, if you're casting Hail of Thorns again, go ahead and do the effect again.
So hit
Yep.
the person like that.
Yep.
Yep.
And then do your attack with your longbow. Alright, so you missed, which means that your Hail of Thorns remains active, and you get a chance to use it again next round.
Okay, so you missed that shot. So you're done that turn.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I am going to take advantage of my pack tactics to negate my sunlight sensitivity as I attempt to launch another stone at the ogre.
And Gorakul, seeing that he's in range of the goblin, decides to move over here and then cast Shield of Faith on Zerash, cloaking him in patterns of shining stars.
Indeed.
Like right here.
Probably better, man. Farther away you get, the better. Or make yourself a target. That's my job.
Okay. Scout, your sense of timing is amazing, impeccable. Would you like to be a stagehand one day? As Pesci stands from his prone position. And he is too far away from that. How active is the ogre right now, DM?
His one head is kind of hanging limp like it's asleep, but he's still very active.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got this in hand mostly. I'm gonna take a 5-foot step this way. And then I'm going to cast target the ogre. I'm gonna make being limp. Okay. I'm gonna go back to being prone at this point. Or do I want to keep standing? How How far away is this guy? 75. Oh, I'm in short bow range for him. All right, I'm going to step back here. And I'll stay standing. I'm going to end my turn.
Goblin number 4 moves up by the boss and nope, moves over by this guy and shoots at Zarash.
Everybody shooting.
The
Missing
ogre
him.
decides that you have enraged him with your vicious mockery. Zarash, you get an attack of opportunity as he moves past you.
This is why I chose not to go prone.
I targeted him. I targeted him right.
Yes, unfortunately you miss as the ogre rushes past you. He swings his flail around in every direction.
Gorakul, sort of seeing this, says, "Oh no, what have you done, Patchy?"
I made him critically fail.
You
No,
guys,
that was
yeah, that was
that
you.
was
Oh.
us.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought that he had to roll for an attack. Gotcha.
Shield of Faith expires on Zarash as Gorakul is wounded by the flail attack. You guys are both knocked prone.
Oh, that is lame that my vicious mockery didn't give him disadvantage. Okay.
Uh, it's not disadvantage because
Yeah, it's not a attack roll. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So it definitely is about to give him disadvantage on this. After knocking you prone, he chain smashes you. You are dying as the massive flail smashes into your tiny body.
Wow, that was max damage.
Yeah. Basically crushing your ribs. I would roll for the effect that can knock you unconscious for 1 minute, but I think that's been handled. The goblin boss shouts, "Stay on me, you slugs! Stop trying to second guess my orders!" And then he moves forward and throws his javelin at Zarash. Yeah, finally you're in javelin range.
Nothing.
What?
Scratch.
Yeah, it barely nicks you. You basically you roll out of the way, and it just takes some of your energy to do that. Is what that can be interpreted as. All right, Goblin number 5 is still listening to his boss, so he moves up and shoots at you with his short bow. Zarash.
Okay, we gotta get up and try to beat the heck out of him there. Try this again. Better.
You strike the two-headed ogre.
Better. He'd be in pretty good shape. All right, that's as much as I can do.
Yep, I'm fully conscious again. All right, goblin number 1. I am moving down by my boss like he told me to and shooting at Zarash.
So his wounds don't impact.
Well, he's heavy. He's not dead yet. Yeah.
Well,
Have
Scout's
at
going to
it.
take a 5-foot step and going to do the something he hasn't done before, at least the party hasn't seen. He's going to attack with the rapier and the quarterstaff because he's got swashbuckler now.
Nice.
There's the rapier.
Yeah.
He's not used to
Yeah.
that yet either.
Hey. Come on. All
And
right.
then part of his fancy footwork, he's going to move out without
Yes,
causing a attack of opportunity and cover Zarash's back.
correct. Or cower behind it, whatever, you know.
The kobolds keep shooting him in the back.
That's true.
The last one with healing.
I have a new one.
Well, but you gotta the boss. You can get him, and then you're gonna blow everybody up. At least I wouldn't. So I'm on Elodie. I assume I'm going to use Ray of Frost. Yeah.
Does she have an AOE
AOE.
She has
area of effect
she has
spell?
ice knife.
Nice knife. Can I shoot it from here, and that's okay? Am I?
Not
Anybody
at
else?
the ogre.
No, but I mean at the boss.
No, I'm going to let because sequentially, Lucy's up next. So let Lucy shoot at the boss.
No, but if you use an area of attack or area of effect spell, you can hit the other two goblins that are adjacent to him.
Right, but I think that Lucy is going to get them with the hail of thorns. Slaughter
Oh,
anyway. So I'm
I see what you're saying. That could also
I'm
work too.
Ray of Frost then on the.
Unfortunately, oh no, you hit. Yeah, I thought that was the save for frostbite. Yeah, you hit, dealing some more frosty damage to the ogre. Apparently, he's not as into Windy's pseudo shake.
So I've got a question. I also added Hunter's Mark when I graded. Can I do Hail of Thorns?
Okay, so Hunter's Mark is also a bonus action, so you couldn't have done it that turn. But now you can put Hunter's Mark on somebody, yes.
Well, but can you use them both at the same time?
Are they both concentration spells?
Oh, yes, then no.
You gotta keep hail of thorns at this point, right?
Okay, so
Right.
I target
You
the
have
boss again.
you have to boss.
It's already
Correct. Start with the long. Sorry, you start with the longbow again.
Yeah.
You have to roll that first.
Yeah. Hello?
Hold on. So now, instead of targeting the goblin boss, you are targeting goblin number, oh, I'm sorry, not 3. Goblin number 1.
What says I'm
Well,
targeting?
you want to be right.
So untarget the goblin boss. Actually, I'll help you with that. There you go. Now just target goblin number 1.
Okay.
He used redirect attack, which allows him to swap places with another goblin and force you to attack him instead.
You're rolling your longbow attack, right?
Yes.
DM? Okay,
Yes.
roll that. There you go. Big numbers. Oh, that's what I need.
All right. So you get a critical hit, so deal your longbow damage. Okay. Now that goblin is dying, now target the other 2 goblins. Roll your save under Hail of Thorns. And they both succeed, so just roll the damage. They'll take half damage. Well, the goblin was dying anyway, so I don't know why it went into system shock as well, but okay. Cool. So, you super system shocked him.
Okay. No damage to the boss? Oh, he's wounded.
Yeah, he took a little damage.
Probably should have stayed with the boss then and just accepted. Oh, that's right. We couldn't do it. Okay, that's fine. All right. Your turn is ended.
You
Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
I always forget to hit that little. Go.
Bitey Slayer backs up just a little bit and launches another sling at the ogre.
Having already destroyed its intelligence. Nice try. Gorpo, you may want to try to pull Pesci out of the way.
I can't really do that if
You don't have healing?
I do
If you
have
can heal me, heal me.
I can cast
Cast healing spell.
I can cast Word of Radiant. No, I mean healing word.
That's fine. I can move myself out of the way.
Find that spell. Gorakul sort of whispering ancient arcane words of Draconic heals Pesci once again as sort of sparks sort of revive him.
Great. Okay.
Get the hell out of the way.
So would standing call trigger an attack of opportunity?
No.
No. All right. I will stand. Let's see. Do ogres have is it okay to ask, does my character know how effective or how much wisdom ogres generally have?
Ogres are not very wise or intelligent.
Okay. All right. Pesci, after he gets slammed with the chain mason, he stands up and he makes a very exaggerated stand up, and as part of this, he casts Tasha's hideous laughter. He does a little bit of slapstick as he's standing up, and casts Tasha's hideous laughter on the ogre.
Nope.
Damn. Okay. Well, I can't disengage. Shoot.
Oh no.
I guess the only thing I could do is pretend like he really killed me and collapse on the ground and trick him into thinking that he killed me. Because I can't move away without drawing an attack of opportunity, which will definitely take me back down.
You also just stood up.
I did. Shoot. Nope, I can't cast anything else. Yeah, Pesci will I guess DM, how effective would it be for me to try to deceive him into not wanting to attack me?
Having just stood up, the chances that he's going to believe that you just fell back over and died without an attack is very slim.
He's coming after me. Don't worry about it. Just get out of the way.
Well, I can't move is the issue. All right, well, I guess we'll take it. Pesci looks very, very much in pain and looks behind the ogre and says, Runa, this one is all yours. I will leave him to you. As he has a look of just sheer terror of the ogre on his face and ends his turn.
Goblin
Runa, Eric, daughter.
Goblin number 4 moves down to the goblin boss, shoots at Zarash.
Because you're a bigger target.
And the ogre, ooh, yay, moves up here, provoking an attack of opportunity from Pesci.
Pesci will attempt an attack of opportunity. Although he has his short bow out, so I don't know how that would work. Unless you'll allow me to draw my dagger. DM.
Yeah, you get to interact with a weapon as a free action. So
Okay. Nope.
yep. And so he does this. A chain sweep where he tries to knock all of you guys off your feet. Fortunately, it looks like Elodie and Zarash and Gorakul managed to get out of the way of... Oh, no, Elodie failed. I'm sorry. Zarash and Gorakul managed to get out of the way of most of the chain. And so you take half as much damage from the attack. Elodie is knocked unconscious but stable. Zarash and Gorakul, you're okay.
Okay.
And then Oh, good. Okay, it already took that off. And now prone. Elodie and Scout, you are both knocked prone as the ogre's flail sweeps you off your feet. And then he turns towards the prone Scout and smashes him. Dealing heavy damage. Forcing you to make a con save, which you make, and you are not knocked unconscious for 1 minute. The goblin boss says, "Charge!" and charges in. Attacking Scout as he's prone. Twice.
Well, now I'm down to his size, so of course he's going to attack.
Of course. He manages to deal some more damage to you, but you're okay.
So, Lucy's computer just can you just release her character to?
Yep.
Yes, yeah, release her to me. She's gonna look over my shoulder here. But it's my turn anyway, so I'm gonna stay with Sarah. I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna because I might as well keep going after the ogre. Right. Well. So what's 12 damage do to this thing? Nothing yet, huh? That's it?
Scout, you are prone on the ground.
So as my move action, I stand up.
That's only half your movement.
And since the little short guy wanted to fight, I will fight him. Or at least
Wow, you keep missing a money. One, two.
always keep missing one of them. Gotta do damage. And I show him why he shouldn't have came up and fought me.
Why not the ogre?
Because then you would all be sprayed with hail of thorns.
Yeah, no, that's part of it. But I could use a different. No, I think I should.
She could switch over to Hunter's Mark at this point, since we're all nearby. Okay.
Longbow on its own is just. I think I'm just going after the other here because everybody else has a shot at. You know what? I want to get rid of the ball. boss. But I'm not gonna be able to shoot the boss though.
Well, you could release Hail of Thorns. You can replace it with Hunter's Mark. There might be another spell that she has that could also work too.
Hail of Thorns, we're gonna go Hunter's Mark. And what does Hunter's Mark do for us?
It gives you
Basically-
an extra D8 to damage if you hit whatever you cast it on. And then after it's dead, you can move it to a different creature. It's basically you mark the creature that you're targeting.
You're still targeting.
Hold on.
There you go.
Hunter's Mark first. Is that what we do?
Yep.
Back first. Hit Hunter's Mark first.
Hunter's Mark first.
Okay. And then go to the attack.
Right. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay. Yeah. Gotta go here. Go here. Yeah. Yeah.
17 and then go damage if it hit.
Right. So I did hit, right?
Correct.
Okay. 15 damage. Yeah, Lucy's pretty
Deadly.
pretty deadly.
Quiet, but
Quite deadly. Yeah. Sure.
Silent but deadly.
I move around by Pesci here and pull out my daggers. Gorakul, you are prone.
Gorakul, do the honors. Take out that ogre.
How about a little
Cool.
earth tremor? Oh, wait, no, I have a better idea.
tell us.
Thunder wave.
No, didn't work.
No, it worked.
Oh, they saved.
Yeah, he failed to save.
Oh,
Very
hold
nice.
on. Oh, no, hold on.
That's a lot of blood.
And he is not out.
Hmm.
Oh, oh.
Doesn't he get pushed back?
He does get pushed back.
As Gorakul, sort of prone, is sort of like seeing that things are getting bad to worse, decides to push back the ogre with a thunderous clap of his hands, and then gets up from prone for his movement.
There you go.
All right. Quick question. So healing word is a bonus action,
Yes.
and I want to make sure that I can also use my action to cast a different spell. Is that correct?
No.
No, I cannot.
No. You can cast a cantrip, not a spell.
I can cast a cantrip, but not a spell. Cantrip would still be okay.
I'm down if somebody wants to. Elodie's down.
Okay. Target Elodie, and I tell her now's not the time to be sleeping when there is an epic battle on the stage. Rise, Elodie, as he casts. Where is healing word? Here's healing word.
Ooh.
So that should help her out, and then
Bravo, bravo.
targets the ogre. Use 2 first level spells. And DM. Actually, no. I'll just Vicious Mockery him. Vicious Mockery. He fails.
That's a crappy roll. Very good. Oh, we got him again?
What? No. 1 damage. I don't even have to roll.
It's like, looks dramatic.
I can't possibly roll low enough to fail my save for that.
He says, the Earl Runa Eric daughter is coming for you. Flee while you still can.
Don't think it's gonna convince him.
It may. I just wanted to give him disadvantage if he decides to attack again.
Gotcha.
I feel like he's going to just go run over to you if you.
I'm going to move.
And
Back
then
here.
he'll wreck us.
I will move back here, next to Lucy, and I tell Bitey Slayer to flank, and that will be my turn. Is this drawing attacks of opportunity from anybody?
Why would it? I didn't leave anybody's threatened square.
Oh. And second question, does it look to me like he's just holding on to his skin in his teeth?
Yeah. Scout and Elodie, or Scout and Gorakul, fail their saves and are knocked prone. Elodie and Zarash, you manage to not get knocked prone, although Elodie is already still prone, so I guess that doesn't matter as much. But she doesn't take as much damage, so that's cool. So, Gorakul and Scout, you are once again knocked prone. Gorakul or Zarash, you're still standing, but you're the only one standing in this grouping besides the Goblin boss and the Ogre now.
Standing, baby.
You're not sitting, and you're waiting for death to come.
And then I don't have my Chain Smash recharged, so I'll just make a regular fist attack against Zarash.
Ew.
My meaty fist smashes into your face. Goblin number 4. Attack Scout.
Why is he outside? Why is he outside?
The Goblin boss. Attack Scout.
Ew. Ew.
And oh, then I also move down here and attack Zarash.
It is.
Zarash, the hittable.
I forgot to roll with advantage for flanking. Okay, there we go. Missed anyway. And that brings us to Zarash.
Okay, well I gotta keep knocking away at this guy. See what we can do with them.
Fighting
All
minute.
right. I need a critical hit.
DM, is there any way that we know that we can drop this ogre?
He appears to be tougher than he looks.
I think I know what to do.
And he looks pretty tough.
Well, you know,
Okay, let
Monster
me roll.
Slayer. You, DM.
Hold on, did I kill?
What? Oh no! As Zarash lands his blow on the ogre, he manages to slice one of the heads off, and as you do so, he lies there bleeding, dying. Now what?
Very nice.
Never mind.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was going to suggest something from of 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 Lucy using Hunter's scent on it.
Okay.
Just something. He's back now. I've sliced off one of his heads, but the other head.
So is the ogre now dead?
No, he's dying.
Dying. Okay. So that means Lucy's hunter's mark is still on the ogre.
Yes,
Cool.
but it only lasts for one roll, so. Oh no, Scout has failed his death saving throw.
All right, so
He's still dying though, right? He's still like.
Yes, he is still dying.
Okay. Don't worry. I know the exact words to tell you that will make you feel better, Scout.
Is it 2 words? Bardic immunity?
No. That's for me.
All right, so Melody is going to. We're gonna point. And we're going to. Can I go ice knife against the goblin?
You'll end up hitting Zarash and Scout.
So I'm ice that.
How many spell slots did you use?
Only used a couple of the first. I've used 3 of the first. That's all I've used. I'm trying to avoid that. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, it hasn't used any.
So icing death's frost. Can I use that? Is that gonna hurt somebody?
That is a cone. So it would affect everybody like this.
My best bet is simply to use
Cross.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll use crossbow.
Yes.
Badly. Why was I at disadvantage?
Because you're prone.
Um,
You gotta stand up.
oh shit! Can I do that again or no?
Uh,
I stand.
you can stand up, but you were gonna miss either way. It dropped a 6.
Oh, I'm actually.
All right, Lucy.
You go.
For the other ogre?
Well, the issue is, see, we get rid
I
of the
mean,
goblin
goblin,
boss.
for the goblin.
He seems to be. Let's try to do that. All right. So we're gonna hit the goblin boss and crossbow. Oh no, the hunter's mark is still on the.
No, it only lasts for one roll.
I've
Okay.
used it already.
Okay. Well then.
Just hit
Why are
the.
you doing that?
Okay, now because the goblin boss is engaged in melee with Zarash, you would take a -2 to this attack roll.
So I gotta
Unless
go
I
for
move?
Can I move and then shoot?
It doesn't matter because Zarash is engaged in melee with him.
Just go for the.
Just go for the.
Yeah.
Go for the. Okay.
Do I need to turn on anything?
Do you need to turn on anything? I don't think you need to turn on anything, but you do need to wait 1 second. I forgot to apply prone to. All right, now you can attack.
All right. Well, hold on, Sonya, hold on. Here, you do it. You roll it. You're gonna be luckier. You're gonna be luckier.
Control.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Here. Yep. This guy. No, that guy. That guy. Yep.
Your mouse is.
Lee. Yeah, this. Got that? Grab it. No.
How do I
Just right on here. There you go. Put there.
You're out of arrows.
You're out of arrows.
Oh, so I can't do any more longbow?
Ow. Off. You had to use all your arrows.
Oh. Am I close enough to use anything?
Yeah.
You can finish off the ogre.
You can also move to attack the other goblin or the goblin boss. You have good range. Melee attack, that is.
Oh, critical hit. All right. Did that do anything?
You smash the dying ogre.
Okay. Is
Okay, Daddy, chill out.
he gone yet?
No,
So did it move from dying to dead?
no.
Okay. You go. All right. City Slayer's gonna do something useful, or is he just?
For cool, sort of seeing that scout is down, he decides to get up and then use his spare the dying as he prays to the star of the gravekeeper to 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 help scout pass his dying save, like to stabilize scout. Did you hear me, DM?
Of course. Don't forget to check off your spell slot.
That's a cantrip.
Oh, so it is.
Hey, Pesci, what do you got for us?
Do I get more longbow next?
We'll have to get you some more.
None of this.
Yeah, we gotta go. I guess you go back through the field and pull all your arrows out. Do the next thing we do.
Sorry, I was on mute. LD's still up and alive, right?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
If they kill the goblin boss, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm going to cast sleep.
Why couldn't you just slice him?
I'm far away. I'm not next to the goblin boss.
I'm gonna go with that.
And sleep can target multiple things.
You want to keep it?
All right. DM.
You have to
So-
roll, you have to roll the damage without. Well, first you have to target the goblins to see if they succeed or fail, and then you have to roll the 5d8. Oh wait, no, there's not a save.
I just get to see if I
Yeah,
have...
so just don't target anyone and roll your 5d8. It's right there, the damage.
Yeah. But oh, the damage one. Okay. Come on high.
18. Okay. So, creatures within 20 feet are affected in
Of the target location.
ascending order of their current hit points.
Yep.
Ignoring unconscious creatures.
Yep. So the ogre is ignored.
Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious. Okay, so 18. And where's the starting point? Right on the goblin boss?
So the range is 20. Is a 20 feet within a point I choose. I'm choosing the point in the space that is adjacent to scout, and that should encompass everybody.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Wait, before we start, DM, I want to clarify. Does this affect my allies as well?
of course it does. It says every creature.
Okay. Then I'm moving it out. Can I move this? I don't want to affect my allies.
There?
I want to get Zerish out.
There?
Yeah. Because Scout's unconscious, so he's not going to be affected by sleep.
Correct.
So I'm targeting... This will target just the remaining 2 goblins.
The remaining
Okay.
2 goblins fall asleep. You guys
Okay.
are alone now in the field with, you know, all of the main enemies dead. You are beaten and bloodied, but all of you have survived. You realize that you have rounded a corner when it comes to your combat skills, because you never would have been able to defeat this dreaded 2-headed ogre monstrosity just a few weeks ago. But now, with your newfound teamwork and skills, you took out one of the most dangerous threats in this area. You feel accomplished and ready to take on the world. And that is where we draw to a close for this session.
But before we end it, Gorakul will sketch up a constellation representing headed ogre
Of course.
as respect.
Hmm.
That's his thing.
Yes. And that is where
Um,
we. Yes?
Go. Sorry. Big ending. Big ending.
And that is where.
we.
And that is where we draw to a close for this session of Dragons of War. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.
Good gaming.